Hi, it's Dina from Dina's Delish Cooking, and today I am making chicken soup. Now, chicken soup is often called Jewish penicillin, and I always make it whenever anybody in my house has a cold or a sniffle or a cough, and my daughter's nose is running. My chicken soup is very, very simple. All I put in is chicken. I use a whole chicken, and then my secret is chicken bones. You can get chicken bones from your butcher or from your local store, and the good thing about it is that it gives a lot of really, really rich flavor, and you don't have to waste chicken that you wouldn't necessarily eat. I let my chicken soup simmer for a few hours with the bones in it, and it just tastes delicious. Now, in addition to that, all I have in it is some fresh veggies. I have some celery, parsnip. Parsnip is a must. I never make my soup without parsnip. Carrots, onion, and then some herbs. I usually use parsley and thyme. Sometimes I put dill in, but usually I do parsley and thyme. And then I just do a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, and that's it. That is everything that's in my soup. All of these flavors blend together and they just simmer together, and it makes just a really, really delicious soup. Now I've put my chicken and my bones into the pot, and I filled up my pot until it's at about 8.5 quarts. That's not 8.5 quarts of water and the chicken. It's up to 8 quarts with the chicken and the bones in it. Now, this is a 12-quart pot, but I don't want to fill it up to 12 quarts because I didn't put enough chicken and bones. That would be too much water in it, and it would dilute the flavor. If you want to use 12 quarts, then I would add either another chicken or some more bones here. Now, I'm going to put this on the fire, and while it is cooking, I'm going to cut up my veggies and prep my herbs. And then I'm going to show you how to skim the little garbage off the top of the soup. Herbs can sometimes be a little bit gritty, have some sand in it. So after I wash my herbs really well, what I like to do is just put them in a bowl of water and let them sit for a few minutes and agitate it a little bit. And then when I take it out, if there is sand or dirt in it, the sand will just stay in the bowl, will float in the bowl, and I'll take out my herbs and I won't have any dirt or grit in my soup. Now, I've cut up my vegetables, and I've just done rough chops. I cut the carrots and the celery into thirds. I've left my onion whole, and I cut my parsnip in half, just so that it's roughly about the same size as all the pieces, and this way all of the pieces will cook at about the same time. Now, sometimes I put my herbs and my onion, which I will be throwing out afterwards, into cheesecloth just to make it easier, but I don't have any cheesecloth this time, so I'm not going to do that. Hi, now I want to show you something that is really important when you are making chicken soup. There's going to be some, well, for lack of a better word, garbage that floats to the top, and you're going to want to skim it off. Now, I'm going to show you what this looks like. Here's my pot of soup. And you're going to notice that there's some white and brown stuff all around my chicken. And what you're going to want to do is take a ladle and scoop this stuff right out there. We don't want this in our soup. So I'm going to scoop all of this stuff out before I add my vegetables. Don't skip this step because you don't want this in your soup. Trust me. So you're just going to get all of this out so that your water just is nice and clear and just has your chicken in it. And after you scoop all this stuff out, that is when you can add the rest of your veggies. All right, I've gotten all of those really yucky bits out of my soup. I'm gonna discard that later. And now I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt, and I'm gonna add a teaspoon of pepper. Can I just show you my spice drawer? Look at how beautiful this is. My friend Shayna helped me with it. I'm gonna add my pepper. And now I'm just gonna add my veggies in, all the veggies that I've prepped earlier. I'm going to put in I'm gonna put in my celery and onions and carrots. Oh, I almost set my celery on fire. That was not very smart of me. Oh, too splashy. Don't do that. Put them in gently. You do not want to burn yourself on hot soup water. And then I'm gonna just put my herbs in there. And that's it. I'm gonna let this all simmer for about an hour, and then I'm gonna take the chicken out and I'm gonna leave the bones in for a lot longer. My soup has been cooking for an hour, so what I'm gonna do now is open the top, and I am going to take out the whole chicken. I'm gonna take out the herbs I put in, and I'm gonna take out the vegetables I put in. And then I'm gonna let everything else just simmer for probably like another hour or so. So I have my two scooping tools. I use both of them to kind of get stuff out. Let's see. Got a lot of nice veggies and herbs on the top. I'm just gonna put it into this glass bowl. Taking out all these nice veggies. Let me see if I could get you in for a closer look. Here we go. All these veggies look delicious, and putting them aside so that I can use them when I serve the soup. I'll be serving these parsnips and the carrots and celery. Just gonna keep scooping them out. I'm just going slowly because I don't want to get burned. Here's my whole onion. Now sometimes what I do is I'll put the onion and the herbs into some cheesecloth, so that way I can just take it out all at once and toss it. But this time I didn't have any cheesecloth, so I just plopped it in. Now my bones are in a cheesecloth, and that's good because I'm gonna let my bones simmer for longer. So those are in a cheesecloth, and I highly recommend you leave those in a cheesecloth so that you don't have to worry about having to leave them in or take them out. All right, I've got all of my herbs and I've got all of my veggies out, and now I'm gonna take out the chicken. I'm gonna get another bowl to put my chicken in. Now, your chicken might break apart when you do this, and that's okay. I'm going to use my big scooper. Ooh, wow, it came out all as one. Okay, I guess I didn't need to worry. And now I'm just gonna cover this back up, and I'm gonna let the bones just sit and simmer for another hour and really get flavor into the soup. And while the bones are simmering, I'm gonna take my chicken off the bone and shred it so that everything is ready by the time the rest of my soup broth is done. Well, my soup is done, and now it's time to taste it. I am going to put in some of the chicken that I made, and I also made some egg noodles. Egg noodles are really great for chicken noodle soup. I made the very thin egg noodles. They have broader egg noodles. You could find it in your local grocery store, and I just love chicken noodle soup. Sometimes I'll make matzo balls, and I will do another video showing matzo balls. And now I'm going to add some of the veggies. My favorite is the parsnip. I don't like the celery. I'm going to do some parsnip and carrot. And then I'm going to add some of this delicious broth that has been simmering for hours. And here is my soup. Doesn't that look good? It smells so delicious. Okay, I'm gonna taste it. Let me get a spoon. I should have thought of that before I started videoing, but I didn't. Here is my soup. Look at this beautiful rich color. Let's see how it tastes. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Really, the bones, the flavor of the bones, you really feel it. I highly recommend you cook with the bones and with the whole chicken because then you get both aspects. You don't need any bouillon with this. You don't need anything other than that salt and some pepper. And then it's just all these fresh ingredients. I hope you enjoy your soup. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below and I will be very happy to answer them.